Hello! Welcome to the Short Story Workshop, where each week we read a short story and then discuss it. My name is Matt. I'm here with my microphone and my laptop and nobody else due to unforeseen circumstances. Don't worry, we'll be back to normal at some point, but I thought I would take this opportunity to read you a story of my own. Maybe we'll do a discussion at some point further down the line, I don't know. But this is a story I thought would lend itself quite nicely to audio. Here we go. Here is the story. It's called The Red Umbrella. Good morning, everyone. My name is Simon, and I'll be your guide for today. We're going to have a smashing time, I assure you. This is such a wonderful city full of history and secrets to uncover. We're going to start right here with the royal gardens, meander over the Sable Bridge, past the cathedral, and finish in the caves, the hidden underbelly of the city. Don't worry if you're claustrophobic, usually only a few brave souls will follow me that far, but there's nothing to be afraid of. It's really quite spacious down there and very pleasant. I eat my lunch there on most days. Anywho, we'll be walking and talking a fair way, and as you can see, it's quite busy in the city today. It always is, that's what makes it a city, I suppose, although I bet most of these people are here because it was already a city. People follow people in that way. Sorry, I do have a habit of distracting myself. The point is, I'm holding this somewhat cumbersome red umbrella so you can keep track of me. Similarly, if I start yelling, I'm not angry with you, I'm angry with all the other people for making too much noise. Here at City First Tours, we have a no question goes unanswered policy. Please do ask questions as soon as they pop into your mind, and I will do my best to answer it. If I don't know the answer, I'll contact my colleagues between stops and get back to you. What's that, ma'am? Oh, sorry, yes. No more than an hour, but it depends how fast you walk. Not you personally, of course. I mean, yes, very true. But you'll get along great with the city. I'm sure you both have a long and complex history. Any other questions? Then let's start our journey. Here we are in the Royal Gardens, which I'm sure you all appreciated on the way here. Nowadays they are maintained by the City Council, of course, but legend has it that this is the garden in which King Arthur pulled the sword from the stone. Some say that instead it was our close neighbours across the river, but most likely it never happened at all. Once you become king, you can tell people all kind of fanciful things and they'll believe you. Indeed, this statue behind me, contrary to popular belief, dates from perhaps as late as the 11th century, judging from the style and expression. I believe that King Arthur himself was mostly an ordinary monarch, with perhaps above average charisma and a knack for deception, which he used to make people follow him. It's important to remember that, if the legends are accurate, he squandered his throne because he was pissed off at either his wife or the Romans, depending on who you believe, but if you ask me, offending either is incredibly foolish. Now, please follow me and we'll take a shortcut through the gardens. The hedges are quite tall and the path a tad narrow, so stay close now. We wouldn't want anyone to get lost. Don't worry, I've gotten very good at walking backwards. This way. Mind this route here. Those flowers? They're the pink kind, I believe. I haven't the foggiest. Oh, the young lady says they're, what was that? Helleborines? Oh, the type of orchid, yes, of course. Brilliant. Thank you, miss. I shall know next time. Now, here, of course, is the iconic Sable Bridge. Let's get partway across and discuss while we take it all in. No, don't you worry, there have always been 7 of you, I'm quite sure. I've been keeping a careful eye on you all, that's part of my job. When this bridge was built back in 1891, 13 lives were lost in its making. It was a dangerous process. I'm sorry, sir? I'm in the middle of my explanation, if you could wait. Yes, I said 1891. 93? No, I'm quite sure. What makes a person a historian, anyhow? Can I not claim to be one out of personal interest and expertise? Oh, is that so? Good for him! No, it's merely busy here, and I'm making sure that you can hear me, sir, which I'm starting to doubt. I may only be a student, but they made me memorise a whole book on the city's history before they gave me this job, and it was over 30 pages. Of course it had pictures. It took me 3 days, and I took special care of the dates because I know they slip out of my mind so easily. No, sir, I'm saying I cannot have been mistaken. If you were listening, look, 91, 93, I think we can all agree it was a bloody long time ago, all right? Ah, thank you, young lady. Here we see the kind of forward thinking needed to resolve the matter. Bickering is no use to anybody. 81, she says, you see? No, I know what I said, and it was 81. You're very kind, there's no need to interject on my behalf, young lady. Let the gentleman believe what he wishes. Where was I? The brighter minds amongst you might know that sable means black, and seems like a poor description of this bridge, but the person who named it only had a black and white photograph. I'm joking, of course, a mere attempt to lighten the mood, that's all. Everybody knows that it was originally black, but people grew concerned about boats crashing into it at night, so now it's this egg yolk colour that we all know and despise. People are so concerned with safety, and yet at the same time, rather careless. If you lean over the edge a little, you might just be able to see the original supports, dating from when this bridge was built, with the more modern supports layered awkwardly over the top. Just a little further, young man, you'll see. And above us are the towers, of course, which were redesigned in 1983, a process which cost a great deal of money and only made them look worse, but there we go. Now, if you would follow me across, we shall continue on to the cathedral. Take your time. Yes, that's quite the camera you have there. Is that so? Fascinating. Let's reconvene at the far side, you shall have no trouble spotting me. Right then, I believe this is everyone. Oh, no, as we've established, I have no mind for numbers, but I'm quite certain there were always only 5 of you. The young man, quite right, but there's very few people on the bridge at the moment, he's clearly not here. Of course not. Do you really think you would miss something like that? At the very least, you'd never miss the splash a man like him would make. No, he's probably just wandered off. As a young man myself, I completely understand we have such short attention spans. Let's continue. Now, here we are at the cathedral. Isn't it impressive? Quite the formidable place, and at the heart of the city. These stones were first placed here, I don't know, ages ago. Do you know, sir? No, I didn't think so. Anyway, it was at the geographical centre before the somewhat lopsided expansion of the last century. What we haven't mentioned so far is all the rumours of hauntings throughout the city, which were numerous. We have our fair share of disappearances, and those who thought their homes haunted would come to this hallowed ground to seek the protection of God. It was said that any ghost or demon who attempted to enter would be immediately incinerated in holy light. All nonsense, of course, but a fanciful notion all the same. Faith in the cathedral's powers dwindled when the Duchess of Alconshire herself vanished without a trace within these walls and was never heard from again. Of course, one might conclude that she was a demon, but she was a frequent visitor here, so that hardly seems likely. Who has ever heard of a demon that goes to church? It's simply ludicrous, I tell you. As for the Duchess's disappearance, it's one of the great unexplained mysteries of this city, and I suspect we shall never know. Maybe she just got lost. Some say her ghost still haunts these halls, but that's simply not true. I'm sorry, I find it hard to conceal my scepticism when it comes to these matters. You are free to believe what you will. We shall take a brief wander within and admire the stained glass windows, but I'll have to lower my umbrella. Do try to keep your bearings. It's something of a maze and our route is interminable, but we can always reconvene outside if you get lost. That said, do try to keep up, would you? But don't forget to admire the ceilings, they are quite the spectacle. There we are. Did you enjoy the cathedral? I'm sorry for the rush, but we were a little behind schedule. No, there's usually only 3 of us at this point. People often grow tired or lose interest. Here, I'll raise the red umbrella, but I doubt they'll be rejoining us. We've waited long enough. Let's move on to the caves, my personal favourite part of the tour. This little alley, here we are. Down goes the umbrella again, just for a moment, I assure you. Let me get the keys. Gosh, I swear this door creaks louder every time. Now, mind these steps, they are poorly maintained. It's a good job the old lady is no longer with us, or this would have taken an age, eh? These caves were first used by smugglers or something like that. These electric lights are a modern addition, obviously. We'll reach the main cavern any moment now. Now, yes, it is rather dark, but it opens up here. I know you can't see it, but not to worry, I have a powerful torch here. Could you hold my umbrella for me? No, don't put it away. I wouldn't recommend that. Blasted thing won't turn on, come on. No, we need the umbrella. There are bats in these caves, I'm sure of it. You know, in Africa, they discovered a curious breed of cave-dwelling crocodile that was a distinctive orange colour. Nobody knew why they evolved to be orange. Turns out they were just covered in bat droppings. Correct me if I'm wrong, young lady, but I think your dress would clash horribly with orange bat shit. Ah, let there be light. You see? Quite the cavern, isn't it? Can't even see the end. I don't know. It seems it's just me and you now, young lady. I didn't see where he went either. It's like he vanished into thin air. He probably just got scared and went back. Men are sometimes too ashamed to speak up in such situations. Let's proceed a little further. Where are you from, miss? Really? Wow. No, not at all. You're quite the character. Oh, it is a struggle, I'll be honest with you. I've hardly slept. I'm walking all day. The pay is terrible. I'm barely getting by. The boss is always talking about scaling up, but we simply don't have the resources. And all the while, I'm spending every spare second of my studies in the hope that I can someday trick some poor fool into giving me a job that will prove more lucrative. It's tough, it really is. Oh, this cave? Probably naturally occurring. How very astute of you. Yes, you can hear the underwater stream. More of a river, really. My colleague is here with his boat to ferry us across. He's a little foreboding, but don't let that bother you. He's foreign, you know, doesn't speak much English. Good morning, my good friend. No, I don't have anything for you, but look at this young lady here. We both know someone who'd love to see her, so I'm sure you'll be compensated. It's almost lunchtime. Yes, thank you very much. Come on, young lady, climb on. It'll only take a couple of minutes to cross. Yes, the stream does make a strange noise. Screaming? No, I wouldn't call it that. It's just an echo. Oh yes, I was talking about my boss. He should be just finishing with a previous tour, that's right. And he would like to see your photographs. That's all I meant. Please be careful with my umbrella, miss. I don't have another. No, that's quite all right. The truth is, you've been very helpful with this tour. I've noticed you kept your distance at first, but it was very nice of you to help the old lady. And you knew what those hideous flowers were. And the date the bridge was built. Oh, yes, he was quite rude. I bet he thinks it's easy being a tour guide. It's really not. There's a lot of misdirection involved, sleight of hand, that sort of thing. Well, yes, I mean, what is a guide but someone who points you in the right direction? Focuses your gaze even when it's inclined to linger elsewhere? Anywho, I was trying to say thank you, miss. Maybe my struggles are coming to an end thanks to you. Oh, bless you. You have no idea. Ah, here we are. Don't let the dark confuse you. Step out of the boat. That's it. Yes, it's quite impressive. I told you this was my favourite part of the tour. It's a shame you can't really take pictures in this light, I imagine. But come on inside. The king sits upon his throne. Please put your camera down. There's really no point. How could he be a statue? He's moving. No, it's not a costume. Bless your poor heart. Yes, very impressive and quite sharp. Quiet. He can hear you. Forgive the intrusion, my lord. Isn't she beautiful? I believe it's almost lunchtime, isn't it? There will be generous compensation, I trust. You should have received 6 already. I thought this particular specimen would be preferable in the flesh. Yes, the lady with the red umbrella. You're joking. To be quite honest, I've had enough. You're never satisfied with anything I do. This is outrageous. I work all day and you give me next to nothing except verbal abuse. But doesn't she look delectable? Why are you looking at me like that? Don't be absurd. Do you think I don't know what would happen if I brought a witch into our citadel? Why, she's shown me nothing but kindness all morning. Tell him you're just a young girl from... Oh, I see. It appears I have been misled. Alright, thank you for listening to my story. Unfortunately, there's no one here for me to ask their opinions about or anything. Through no fault of their own, I should add. I mean, I guess there's you here. Send me your comments. Leave a comment on our website at theshortstoryworkshop.com so that I know whether you enjoyed this story. And like I said, maybe we'll do a discussion on this at some point in the very distant future, I imagine. But that's it for this episode. Hopefully, we'll be back next week with hopefully a more normal episode. We'll see how it goes. Until then, take care. Goodbye.